Good afternoon, everyone. You all are welcome to this event of Think Out of the Box, Share Your Idea, organized by CQS Training Private Limited. So let's switch over to our participants where we are going to have a presentation by Kanika with us. So Kanika, I'm switching over to you. You can share your presentation.
Hello everyone, I'm Kanika Bedi. Today I'm going to present a presentation for you all, and the topic is future age technologies, which is that we are committed to the people and future as well. And on behalf of CQS Academy, I'm presenting this. So we all know that technology is all around us, routinely impacting our daily lives. Technology has a significant impact on how we live, work, and play. Simply, technology refers to the practical application of scientific knowledge for a purpose, by which we humans do things better than ever before. Basically, technology is which enables us to do something very quick, fast, and more precisely. So it's simple solution to the complex connections. So increasingly significant technologies for 2050, we're going to discuss here only four. They are artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality, and Internet of Things. So first we will discuss about artificial intelligence, and that is, first of all, we go discuss what is artificial intelligence individually. So artificial, well, it can be anything that is made by human, things that are not natural. And what do we understand with intelligence? It is ability to understand, think, and learn. So what do we get when we combine these two together? Artificial intelligence is a broad area of computer science that make machines seem like they have a human intelligence. The goal of AI is to mimic the human brain and create systems that can function intelligently and independently as well. Now, what is the age of AI? We all know the AI age is here. But then you might be wondering, why don't we see the flying cars and robotic maids bringing you a lunch? Why doesn't our life look like Jetsons? Well, for starters, that's a cartoon. And when it comes to reality, we can experience AI. Have you ever asked Alexa to order food or browse Netflix movie suggestions? You are actually interacting with our AI without even realizing it. That's a kind of a point where you are actually experiencing the shots of the near future. I think you are getting this. The present experience artificial intelligence are Alexa, Amazon, Netflix, and Google Assistant. The future of AI is we are expecting to become little less artificial and lot more intelligent in future. As AI becomes more intelligent, surely the human work is replaced by AI. We will still need human experts who can build and maintain these synthetic boards and work on a strategic and creative aspects of a job. So in conclusion, AI is a boon to industry that can help optimizing any job. This means that always it's not AI versus human, rather it is combination of human and AI versus the actual problem statement. So what are you waiting for? Pull up your socks and get ready to be the part of AI revolution. So what we will experience in future, the AI examples are the driverless cars. Are driverless cars close to being a reality? I think it's a vehicle that is capable of sensing its environment and moving safely with little or no human input. And also what we're gonna experience in coming future is improved robo-medical care. For many seniors and patients, everyday life is a struggle, and many need to seek outside help or depend on the family members to manage their care. Artificial intelligence is not so far to replace this need too. Robots will assist seniors and patients with their daily tasks and enable them to stay independent, which improves their overall well being. I will ask you people, is everything clear?
Yes,
Excuse
Kanika.
me, everyone.
Yes,
Is
Kanika. Yes.
everything clear yet?
Yes, Kanika. You can continue.
Shall I continue?
Yes.
Thank you. So, next topic is virtual reality. So, virtual reality uses a headset with a built in screen that displays the virtual environment for us to explore. These headsets use a technology called head tracking, which allows us to look around our environment by simply moving our head. Okay, wait. So the present examples we experience VR is PlayStation VR. I think boys are really heard of this. Discovering a new world of unexpected gaming and entertaining experiences with PlayStation VR. We are redefining your expectations of deep involvement in gaming with the movement so intense that your divination takes over. Step into the incredible virtual worlds and experience entertainment in extraordinary ways. The PlayStation VR is developed by the Sony Interactive Entertainment. Okay, so let's move to the next present example and also the future too. That is surgery practice using VR. The ability to view the inside of the human body in virtual reality is not only useful for doctors but also for the patients. Surgeons are using VR to practice highly technical surgery before operating. The virtual reality system is helping in training and assisting in planning operations. So basically, it also helps surgeons in the operating room, guiding them in the three-dimensional space. I hope you get this point. Now, the future of VR, what it will be. Imagine you are going to a travel company and you ask if which country I should visit. They will say that take a virtual tour, and then you're gonna decide. So nowadays and in future, business are gonna use this technology to give virtual tour to their consumers about their products and locations. A virtual tour is a simulation of existing location, usually composed with a sequence of videos, images, and other multimedia elements such as music, sound, narration, and text. So I think this will be a very happy and enjoyable kind of technology we're gonna see in the coming future. Next is we will discuss augmented reality. Augmented reality is totally different from virtual reality. Instead of transporting to the virtual world, it takes the digital graphics and layers them on the real world around us. This is done through a clear visors, AR glasses, and smartphones. I think you have watched those 5 minute scrap video where you're gonna see the hack that we are typing 3D pictures of snakes or sharks on the Google, and they are actually visible on our screen, and that feels so real. That is augmented reality. I think we all have experienced that. Next is a present example we all experience is L'Oreal Modifice AR app. For girls, I will ask, are you feeling embarrassed by your makeup skills? Then don't worry, because we are here with the L'Oreal Modifice AR app, in which we're gonna see virtually trying number of cosmetic products on our own, both and that too in a real time. So it's very easy and convenient app, and also for us to select easily products. Next comes a real-time translation using augmented reality. This is done by every one of us. If we are visiting to any country, any state where we are not understanding the language, we can use this. Nowadays, there are many applications that can use your smartphone camera to scan and translate foreign language in real time. This is only possible and only possible due to augmented reality. We all should thanks to it. Then comes AR mirror shopping. This will be our future in AR. We are all tired of trying clothes while shopping. I think girls will understand this. Here comes the simple solution for that in coming future. That is AR mirror shopping. It's easy and convenient. Simply select your dress from the store, scan it through the AR mirror, boom, you are virtually dressed. The best part of this technology is that the garment follows the body movement. Thus, this gives the user an idea about the outfit without physically trying the dress. I hope you get this and imagining too. Next comes the topic Internet of Things. This is another technology we are actually experiencing, and we'll see the more revolution and evolution in this. So the meaning of IoT is it describes a network of physical objects and things and that are embedded with sensors, softwares, and other technologies for the purpose of connecting and exchanging data with other devices system over the internet. Then there are some key factors that have been driving the adoption of internet. I think we should know this, why we are actually adapting this IoT. There are some features, the factors we consider while doing this, that is innovation, increased operational efficiencies, enhanced customer experience, maturity of the IoT solutions being offered to us, and increased coverage of the networks and enhanced levels of the data speed. Okay. Now, what is the present example we can feel IoT about? That is smart home. Smart home, what does actually it mean? Smart home basically, when we step into our house or we are not at our house, but some appliances are on. So we can control those appliances through our smartphone. So that is smart home. I think you have seen Amitabh Bachchan doing an ad for Lloyd AC. He is actually controlling the AC buttons from a hill station. I think you are getting this point. So smart home is basically that when we are not actually at home, but we are controlling the devices at home. Then comes what is the future of IoT? I think the smart city will be the future of IoT, where everything, every component you can see on the screen will be there. What is smart city actually? It is needless to say that IoT technology have been driving the growth of smart cities across the world. It holds the potential of saving the major issues of the cities like pollution, traffic, and congestion. We all feel these things are to be threat of our daily life. If smart city enters into our life, I think these problems will be smart city will be a solution to these problems. Next come, I think I have discussed all the four technology, but after this I want to discuss some more emerging future technologies and some funny one too. They are funny. This is not very funny, but this is a very realistic because we're gonna experience in the coming days. That is 5G. 5G is already introduced in India also, and later on it will be available to each one of us. Then come what is actually 5G. 5G is a fifth generation mobile network. It's a new global wireless standard after all the previous generation. 5G enables a new kind of network that is designed to connect virtually everyone with everything and anywhere. 5G is designed to do variety of things that can transform our lives, including giving us faster download speeds, low latency, and more capacity in connectivity for the billions of service, especially in the area of AR, IoT, and AI. I think you know the meaning of VR, IoT, and AI now because I've already discussed. Then comes the funny one. I think we all are tired of folding clothes because our mom forced to do so. It's a real struggle, I can understand. So don't worry. Here's a solution. Yeah, you heard it right. Foldymate. Foldymate is a California-based company developing a robotic laundry folding machine. Folding clothes is one of the most boring chores. That is why Foldymate emerged on a strange tech sense. Foldymate fold apparels for you. According to the developers, it can fold a full wash clothes in less than 4 minutes. Yeah, 4 minutes. Criticism is there that some skeptics think that it's an unnecessary luxury. But I'm sure when first automatic machine was invented, people were saying the same. Because we used to think that we can wash our clothes with hands in water and with that bat called Thapi very easily. But now we are all used to automatic machines. So I think in nearly coming future, we will used to be folding made also. Pretty useful, right? Then comes the last slide. Don't get bored. In the current times, people can't imagine their life without technology. We all agree to it. Surrounding us, various technologies are helping people live life with more luxury. How technology help us? By saving time and making life easy. Technology has changed the way we track money, doing business, and much more. It has become apparently obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. Albert Einstein say that, and we should respect it. And we should also give some time to ourselves and our family apart from the technology, but we know that technology is all surrounding us. So I think this is enough, or if you want to listen me more, you can say me. So thank you so much. If you have any queries, please feel free to ask. Don't hesitate. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Kanika. Thanks a lot for sharing such an insightful knowledge with all of us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So you can. So guys, our next candidate is Vaibhav Kumar. So he will going to share his presentation. So Vaibhav, I am switching over to you. Yes, please.
Okay. Hello everyone. This is Vaibhav Kumar, and I'm really thankful for Sequest to conduct this session. And here I'm going to express my views over futurist technologies around the world. So let's begin. Now, before starting anything else, let's just think, how do we approach future technologies? Like, what do you call a futurist technology? The technology which is not present right now, or in presently just in a minor manner or in a small manner, but it could grow vastly in the coming future. So here we go in this introduction, basic introduction. Technology in all the existence is used as a tool to make life easier for mankind. As we already know, technology and the machinery is always used as a tool to basically easy our everyday task. For example, first you don't have electricity, then you when we invented electricity, we get to know its various uses. Since the early time, it has grown manifolds. With the gradual time, the needs of humankind has also changed, and so does the technology. So now we are literally dependent on the machine for a variety of tasks. In this segment, we will also talk about various future technologies that might change our way of life in the near future. Before that, why do we need newer technology? What is the basically need for a newer technology? So technology, we have already got to this conversation that technology refers to the collection of tools that make it easier to create, use, manage, and exchange information. According to a recent survey, by 2100, the projection of the world population is estimated to be around 15 billion. So we need to provide shelter, clothing, and food for the same. Thus, for the better way of life, we need to evolve our technologies. The technologies right now are literally enough for today's survivals, but not enough for the future survival. Since we have also already used a variety of natural resources, so we also have to come up with the new alternative resources of energy. With the advanced technology, we can also find alternative uses of natural resources, and with the advanced technology, we could also improve our various knowledge and information about healthcare, education, and training. So now I would like to start for the first technology that I think will be a crucial part in the upcoming era. That is mixed reality. Let us begin. Imagine, everybody imagine just watching a football match or any live sports match, not on a TV but on a virtual device like a VR headset or VR glasses types. In that we have a almost similar experience, like something's happening literally right in front of us, but in reality it is only in a VR headsets. Many companies like Snapchat and now Instagram also uses mixed reality, which is a combination of virtual reality and augmented reality. Snapchat, for instance, uses various filters. Do anyone get to know that various filters are used by various types of techniques of AR? In this AR technique, we used to create illusion types, like various filters of Snapchat that you know about, like dog filters and other filters. Microsoft and other top companies that made the most compelling special computing products of the past year. Like Microsoft recently launched Google Lens. Sorry, Microsoft, no, it's Google Lens. It has a variety of possibilities to create a virtual experience for everybody. And in the last week itself, Reliance Jio Infocom, led by Mukesh Ambani, also introduced GeoGlass, which is also based on MR. It will create a sense of meeting-like structure. Other thing is solar energy. It might seem like it is a primitive and new end technology. We also use this in current time, but to be honest, we do not fully optimize its fully power. Like we only have access to the very limited. The cost of solar energy is quite high right now. We need to efficiently use this solar energy. Heliogen, it is an important company funded by Bill Gates. It is basically working on the expansion of solar market, solar energy in a daily to daily activities. For example, India also created a super solar market farm in, I guess, Madhya Pradesh, which can easily come up with the 15,000 megawatt energy. And with this renewable resource, we can easily cover up with the lack of power supply in our India, in our country, and also in the worldwide. Gene editing. This is a basically up to right now. It almost seems as a sci-fi idea, or this is always seen in a movie. But researchers all around the world are investing, and various researchers are pooling the resources in their gene editing. In US itself, gene editing has evolved a crop in which it yields more return. It yields more nutritious crop, and this can also always be happened with the help of gene editing. Gene editing has the prospects of removing any illness from a body. We have a gene editing known as CRISPR-Cas9, which stands for clusters of regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats. It is a tool that allows researchers to easily alternate DNA sequences and modify gene function. For example, I can give you this. In the US, a certain team of researcher had able to remove diseases like AIDS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, and Huntington disease with this tool, CRISPR-Cas9. And it is right now in its initial phase, but with the proper researching and proper implementation of this, we can really go further. Gene editing can be seen as a end to our diseases problem, and to our lack of quality crops problem. With this, we can really help in other sectors than health industry. It is also used to crop alters to produce more nutritious crop. And this is the most talked energy of all. This is artificial intelligence. Its prospects are far higher than any other right now, because right now we have also involved various resources in this technology. Especially many companies around the world are actively participating in the race of AI, like Google has launches Google Assistant, Amazon, and other, Microsoft too. This works as a basically tiny software program which could act like a supercomputer on its own. It will take decisions more carefully and more responsibly, since it can handle various it can handle big data, and it can possibly do what human intelligence cannot do in further 100 to 150 years. With the help of an AI, we could see an automated vehicle. Like Tesla is actually investing in this automatic vehicle industry, where they are ready to go to market by late March 2025 for an automated vehicle to on the roads. But all these we have talked about various types of technologies, various futurist technologies, and all this. But we should also think about the challenges. What are the challenges that behold this? With all these prosperous technologies in mind, we should also think about the various challenges these might face. One of the primary challenge will be the control. Control here refers to the control of the technology, control of the power we are creating. If we can't control what we create, that will just create the doom of our mankind. If we can't control a technology, it will go out of our reach, and if this goes out of in our hands, or goes in the wrong hands and the wrong minds, it could really alter. For example, I can this control example I can give this nuclear power. Nuclear power was earlier in 1940s. It was created and termed as the power for all. It was promised to the US that nuclear power is their final power, and it can use there to provide electricity to the far end places. But with the nuclear power in the wrong minds, created a nuclear power as a weapon. Then we all know about 1945 blast in the Japan. This happens when the extreme power we don't know anything about goes out of control. Secondly, the capital investments in this field is quite high. Since we do not about the future, we do not about the prospects. So creating a new technology or creating a new machinery is very high. So only few companies might have access to actually work on these. Like multinational companies, big billion companies can only work on this. We don't see normal or mid-scale companies working on this. The last big human invention, that is machines, have already replaced many work. Another issue with this future upcoming technology that it can create massive unemployment and massive poverty with this. The last big human invention, that is machines, have already replaced many workers in the industrial revolution. Exactly after in next internet revolution, it also removed many jobs, and it brings many poverty to many. Thus, if we go for the future upcoming technology, we should also train our workers, we should also need to create a training atmosphere for our workers so that they should not be get unemployed or they should not fear poverty. Thank you, and that's all for my presentation. Sorry, it is done.
Very well presented, Vaibhav. Thanks a lot for sharing this with us. So guys, we are having now Ayush Bhatnagar with us. He will going to share a presentation. So Ayush, I'm switching over to you. Yes, please start.
So welcome everyone. My name is Ayush Bhatnagar. Today I'll be presenting a presentation of future age technologies. So technology in the world seems to be constantly evolving. While we are sitting here discussing our presentation, there must be any corporation in the world and their R&D teams working on their upcoming projects and upcoming technologies for the future. So we can't predict the technology. That's the first principle Sir Alan Turing quoted. I'll proceed with my presentation now. Today in my presentation, I'll be covering 4 of the most transforming technology as per me, as per my personal opinion, and I'll be sharing them with you all. The first one is the Hyperloop technology. It's related to the transport technology, transport systems and transport world. The second comes the blockchain technology. I guess you all be were aware about this technology. It's constantly used in the cryptocurrency terms. The third comes the lithium sulfur batteries, which is an transforming and versatile idea for the batteries, as batteries are used in every nook and corner of our daily lives. The fourth one and the most interesting one is the generic fortune telling. So I'll proceed with the first, which is the Hyperloop technology. Hyperloop technology. First, let's understand what is a Hyperloop technology. Hyperloop technology is, in simple words, is a sealed tube with no air pressure in it. And we all have seen metro, but the main problem in metro is the air resistance caused by the friction caused by the air resistance, due to which we have to use large amount of electric energy to overcome that resistance. But in the case of Hyperloop, there's no pressure, there's no friction. It's just a sealed tube with no air pressure in it, and it can be used to transport passengers as well as storage and free transportation. The first Hyperloop project in India was introduced in, I guess, 2016 by the Ministry of Transportation. The Pune-Mumbai Hyperloop project. The company given this the Virgin Atlantic company was given the tender of this. Also, the world's largest Hyperloop is under construction in San Francisco Bay Area, which has 5 interstate corridors, and it has a projected speed of 760 mph, which is in our Indian terms would be 1200 km per hour, allowing a time travel of 35 minutes from Los Angeles to San Francisco, and it was inaugurated in 2013. So let us proceed to the next technology. The next technology is the blockchain technology. Blockchain technology has been a very, I would say, in trend technology. Everyone, you have been listening about it in the news, in the TV. It's basically it covers a very large variety of sectors and industries that can adopt this technology, such as the cybersecurity, healthcare, industrial manufacturing, and many more. Blockchain technology in the future will revolutionize all the business processes in many industries, but the main problem is its adoption requires some time and some great efforts by the R&D teams. Nevertheless, in the near future, we can expect the governments, like the US government has already implemented this in the federal system, the federal investigation system to be precise. And I've seen over the past 2-3 years, many blockchain startups have been identified. Even in the annual general meeting of the Reliance Industries, Mukesh Ambani sir announced that he'll be investing in blockchain technology over the next 25 years. He'll be looking for new startups which use blockchain technology. I'll proceed to the next technology, which is the lithium sulfur batteries. Now, this would sound somewhat weird, but this is the reality that lithium sulfur batteries were introduced in 1860s or 1960s, but they haven't been used till then. As the main issue in this batteries are that sulfur has a property of rapid discharging and safety. Oh, sorry. And yes, it's known for its high specific energy. Like the batteries we currently use are just the batteries used till now in the aircraft industries are just lithium batteries, which are nice, but lithium sulfur batteries have a over edge over it, as it has high specific energy and high voltage. But safety in this case is a big issue, and that's the thing the big tech giants are working on it. So I'll proceed with the next technology. The next technology and the most interesting one is the generic fortune telling. As you can see in the picture over here, it's of Alan Turing, sir. He introduced the Enigma code, which is known as the DNA of computer cryptic hunts. And the general fortune telling must sound weird, but it's like a newborn baby getting his report card at the time of his or her birth. I know if listening to this may sound very vague and like, what are you saying? But that's the reality. Scientists and many R&D teams are working on this technology. It's like predicting the health of a person at his time of birth, or 2-3 years back, like heart attacks, like cancer, and many fatal diseases too. Most of the pharmaceutical top companies are working on this, and it's a revolutionary technology. If we can implement this in our daily lives, and if we can bring it in our daily use, then then the world would be changed drastically. It would be a revolution for the world. At the end, I would say that in the future we won't be using technology. We'll surely be living in it. We'll not be using technology more now. We'll be living in it and we'll be enjoying it. So at the end, I would conclude my presentation. Thank you. That's all from my side, sir.
Thanks a lot, Ayush. Thanks a lot for sharing this presentation with all of us.
I'm Komal, and I want to thank CQS Limited for giving me an opportunity to present my topic, Future Age Technologies. Before discussing about future age technologies, I want to talk about what is technology. The application of practical purposes, especially in and I think nowadays technology is one of the most important thing. And why is it important? It is important because it makes you feel more secure with every area in life for both personal and business reasons. With technology advancing, more people are able to have to supplies such as fresh water and food, because technology can help deliver those items to people that otherwise couldn't get it. And now I would like to switch over to future age technologies, and one of the most hottest technology which is going to come in future is artificial intelligence. So let's talk about what is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is wide-ranging branch of computer science concerned with building smart machines capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. And it is basically an advancement in machine learning and deep learning. I would like to give a little bit information about machine learning and deep learning so that it's easy to understand what is artificial intelligence. Machine learning is an application of artificial intelligence that provides systems the ability to automatically learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. Machine learning focuses on the development of computer programs that can assess data and use it, learn for themselves. So now let's go about deep learning. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning and artificial intelligence that has networks capable of learning unsupervised from data that is unstructured or unlabeled, also known as deep neural learning or deep neural network. So basically, deep learning and machine learning are both the subsets of artificial intelligence. So now let's talk about how artificial intelligence work. So for artificial, first we record the data, we extract it into compatible class objects, basically data translation. Then we take it to an AI algorithm. Then we go for outage prediction. Now, how AI is used? Artificial intelligence generally falls under two broad categories. Narrow AI, sometimes referred to as weak AI. This kind of artificial intelligence operates within a limited context and is simulation of human intelligence. Narrow AI is often focused on performing a single task extremely well, and while these machines may seem intelligent, they are operating under far more constraints and limitations than even the most basic human intelligence. So basically, narrow AI works on human intelligence. Artificial general intelligence is the second part of how AI is used. Sometimes referred to as strong AI, is the kind of artificial intelligence we see in the movies, like the robots from Westworld or data from Star Trek. The next generation AGI is a machine with general intelligence, and much like a human being, it can apply the intelligence to solve any problem. We have seen this artificial general intelligence in one of the movie known as Robots. So artificial intelligence have some examples which are now being applied in the real life. Some of them are smart assistants, manufacturing and drone robots, what is spam filtering, and disease mapping. So let's start with smart assistants. Smart assistants, this term usually refers to the types of physical items that can provide various services by using smart speakers that listen for a wake word to become active or perform certain tasks. So basically, some examples of smart assistants are Google Assistant, Siri, Alexa. We are using all this. Basically, in this, we can done our work by only our voice. Like Alexa is one of the most famous example, and Google Assistant also. Now, the second example of machine learning is manufacturing and drone robots. An industrial robot is a robot system used for manufacturing. Industrial robots are automated, programmable, and capable of movement of 3 or more axes. Typical applications of robots include welding, painting, assembly, disassembly, pick and place for printed circuit boards, packaging and labeling, product inspection and testing. So these are the works that can be done by the robots in future. They can assist in material handling. Now, where and how robots are going to be used? Sophia is the first robot citizen of the world after Saudi Arabia granted her citizenship in October 2017. Chinese is the leader in the robotic sales worldwide with a share of about 40% as of 2019, according to the International Federation of Robots. South Korea, Japan, and US are in second, third, and fourth place respectively. Indian IT, and the Indian generic drugs industry are the two areas where Indian companies have taken a march ahead of their Chinese counterparts. So these are the top 5 robotic companies in India. First is Grey Orange, second is Kuka Robotics, third is Pari, fourth is Fennec India, and the last but not the least is Systemantics. So the now third technology which applies artificial intelligence is spam filtering. Spam filters detect unsolicited, unwanted, and virus invested emails called spam and stop it from getting into email boxes. Internet services providers use spam filters to make sure that they aren't distributing spam. Small to medium sized business also use spam filters to protect the employees and networks. There are different types of spam filters for different criteria. One of them is content filters, then header filters, blacklist filters, and rules based filters. Now, the last but not the least example of artificial intelligence is protective healthcare management. Protective healthcare, a commitment between provider and patient, a commitment between a provider and a patient where both parties take an active role in managing the patient's health to keep the patient healthy. Disease mapping, which provides a visual representation of the geological distribution of a disease within a population, can often be a very tool in determining source of an outbreak. The most famous example is John Snow's studies of the cholera epidemic in the Golden Square area of London in 1854. Artificial intelligence is being used to diagnose disease and design new drugs. So how it's going to be happen is a study published this week by Lancet Digital Health compared the performance of deep learning, a form of artificial intelligence, in detecting diseases from medical imaging versus that of healthcare professionals using a sample of studies carried out between 2012 and 2019. AI applications in the field of healthcare aren't just limited to diagnosing a disease, that also include its possible treatment. So there's a company, Bayer, which has recently been working with tech companies to create a software to help help diagnose complex and rare conditions and help develop a new drugs to treat these diseases. They have been working in partnership with hospitals and researchers to determine what the machine learning needs to analyze to learn how to diagnose a patient's medical condition. The information that the AI is absorbing comes from a number of factors, from symptom data, disease causes, test results, medical images, doctor reports, and more. Thank you so much.
Very good, Komal. Very well presented and covering all the aspects. We have touched all the aspects of future-age technologies with all the examples, real-life examples. So it was a very great presentation. Next candidate is Akanksha, and she will going to present her presentation. So Akanksha, I'm switching over to you. You can present now.
Hello everyone, myself Akanksha. I'm going to give the presentation on future age technology. I'm going to start the presentation. If anyone have any doubt, you can consult after the presentation, okay? First of all, let me introduce you everyone to the technology. It's about the future. We know all the facts that we can. The future, our future is uncertain. We don't know that what will be there in the future and what will be not in the future. Like it's already, there are so many facts that our life is changing day by day. There is not in the previous time there is no any medical treatment for the cancer, but due to the technology and the things changing around, are getting all the treatments for so many of the things. Like and the another thing that all the human, like the labor or any other things, can be changed to the robots. And the technology in today's world, we can see that the time we woke up and the time we sleep, we are everywhere surrounded with the technology. And there is a fact that almost 50% of the world's population always search on the Google or use so many websites. All the things that we do are the use of the technology. 90% of the world in the last few years, as it is concerned, that all the people search about so many things, and we just use all the technologies in the daily routine, the time we woke and the time we sleep. on the other side, I will tell you what's ahead, like what the things that are going to enter our life in the future. First of all, digital life in 2025. There will be like internet will be spread in all the surroundings like electricity. Like we use electricity, it's the supply of the electricity in our houses. In the same way, internet will be supplied. Another thing, all the cameras, software, database, mass data centers, all the things, everything will be so easy to communicate right now also, and in the future also will be so easy. Second thing, smart clothes. In 2026, there will be smart clothes. Smart clothes is like like first of all, it is already surfaced in 2015. It's an electronic textile which is going to launch smart garments, smart clothes, smart textile, and fabrics. All these clothes are divided into two segments. First of all is aesthetic. Aesthetic, it's a fabric and the light up, which light up and change the color. Like if in the brightness it changes the color, in the darkness it changes the color. Second is performance enhancing. In this, it's a sports like या फिर military. Next is wall mining. In 2028, it will be used for all the like solar. It's for the hello.
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. Sorry, sir. Second, it's a carbon breathing battery in 2029. It will be a breathing battery. Like we can see that there are so many problems in the breathing, and like it's for whether it's for the plants or for the human beings. They also like it will be easier for everyone. It will be a battery that can be charged with the carbon. It will be called carbon breathing battery. Okay. There will be a global and camera-less softwares and database that will be charged very easily with the help of this. Like we use our cells in the remotes and so many things in our watches. It will be a carbon breathing battery also in 2029. Next, cheap solar power 2020 and 2033. It's in outside countries. It's right now also it's there, but in India it's a very expensive thing, but it can be cheap in 2023, and it will be like it's already done in 2016 and 2040. There will be a more like it will be easy for every human being, like for the middle class or for anyone else who can use this very easily. Next is 3D printing in every house. It's already, we all know, like 3D printers are already there in our daily life, but so many people don't have it. They cannot use it or they cannot afford it. But in the upcoming time, they can have it easily and they can use it. Now it's like about there will be a vehicles in upcoming days which can be driverless vehicles, and the real and virtual enhancement of the human being activities. Like humans can be replaced with with robots, and all the jobs may be created and may be lost. Like who knows about the technology can have the job, and the people who don't know about the technology cannot be able to have the job. Like now another one is diamond batteries. In 2031, there will be a diamond batteries. Like we all know that diamond are made with a very high pressure, so they can be used for the battery. They can produce light. All the heat will be produced through them, and we can use that diamond for the battery purpose. Now, as we all know, there is two sides of everything. Like a coin has the two sides. The technology that will come will have both the sides, brighter and darker side. First of all, I will tell about the brighter side. There will be information sharing over the internet so easily that will make our life smarter, safer, and more effective. Communicate and smart agents, like we can use all the technology and have all the information very easily with the help of internet. Second is environment and structure themselves will become intelligence, like there will be a carbon battery and diamond batteries, or the solar will be there, solar chip cheapest at the time. They will be so easily communicate, and the homes will be like everything will be surrounded with the technology. Next one is wearable devices, big data, like people will be aware about all the things happening in the world with so easily, and everyone will have the knowledge of everything. Now I'll tell you about the darker side of the technology. See, self-driving cars will be there, like sometimes, as we all know, like there might be any problem in that, or the network issue, or the automatic, like the jobs which people have, or the some of the people who don't have the knowledge of anything can drive the car, can have the job, but at that time they will not have the job. Second thing, because of the technology, there are 52% jobs which are created, but 48% of jobs which are not which are taken by the technology. Like all over 100%, there will be only 52% which will having the job, and 48% that are not going to have a job because they don't have the knowledge of the technology, or they are not able to use it. Second thing is, like in upcoming next 10 years, the education and training programs are going to have so much of things. And when, as we all know, if there is of something, or they are giving any knowledge of the something that might be very expensive, or everyone cannot afford it, so they are not going to have the information about that. So 70% of people will have the job, and 30% will not have the job. So according to this, there will be our life that will be easy, and some of the people's life will be not easy because of the technology, and some people's life will be easier because of the technology. Thank you so much for everyone to listen it.
Thanks a lot, Akansha. It was a very
Awesome.
great presentation.
So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sejal, and I am student of CQS. So thank you for inviting me to give my ideas on future age of technology. So first, I want to introduce about the technology. What is technology? Technology is a sum of technique, skill, method, and process used in the production of goods or services, or in the accomplishment of objectives such as scientific investigation. Technology can be knowledge of technique, process, and the like, or it can be embedded in machine to allow for operation without detailed knowledge of their working. Technology has many effects. The simplest form of technology is the development and use of basic tool. For me, the technology is that to be visualize something and create your work as much as easy. Every time we are here about technology, so some basic thing is that what is the importance of technology. So the by our PM Narendra Modi ji, importance of technology is increased every day. We must not to deprive our children of technology. If we do, then it's a social crime. Technology is an important, but if this is overused, that become the that is not helpful, because excessive thing of everything is the highest person in the world say technology is just a tool. In terms of getting the kid working together and motivating them, the teacher is not most important. And the importance of technology is important in today's world because it serves a variety of functions in many of the most important aspects of modern society, like education, communication, business, and scientific and progress. We all know that the technology is important because now by the pandemic coronavirus, we are doing studying in phone. In 2010, teachers say that don't use phone, but now class on phone. So that is a technology that increase day by day. It's important increase day by day, but the excessive use of everything is harmful. What is the advantage of technology? ऑलवेज जब भी हम कुछ चीज करते हैं तो हम ये सोचते हैं उसका फायदा क्या होगा. तो अगर टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी डेवलप हो रही है तो हमें उसका भी क्या फायदा मिले. So not everything is bad, but our technology and electronic too. Just we have to remember to not let them take over our lives. Technology is useful, but हमें इतना भी उसे यूज नहीं करना चाहिए कि हमारी जिंदगी सिर्फ टेक्नोलॉजी में रह जाए. So technology के कुछ advantages हैं, like very convenient, learn to do on your own, like online businesses are spread nowadays, allow us to do things we never thought we could do, save time, entertainment, save lives, create new things. And now disadvantages of technology. Something gives you a benefit, something always gives you a disadvantage also. Most technology devices rely on electricity, so if power is lost, device cannot be used. Technology devices tend to be expensive, so poor cannot afford them, and segregation increased. Interaction between people is less important now because we are just being the technology and we are not want to be interact with someone. And the topic we are discussing is future of technology. So access of information is easier because of the internet. Existing technology is used as a basic to improve future technology. Growing population mean more chance that brilliant minds are born to create better technology. Humanity can always make better way to improve efficiency. By the data that nowadays only 10 billion people are used technology, but in after 2020 the 15 billion people should be used technology. And technology is the one thing that increase by the day and day, like a digital marketing. No one can be sure that digital marketing can be developed, but now a time it is a trend. We all want to be do digital marketing. By these two picture that show that technology is increased, like that one person in my one picture that he visualize everything, and in this we all by the I think by the my 8th standard I am already know that what are coming in. So these two picture that show that technology has upgraded nowadays. And what future technology learned this year, there's some terms that are used at hyper automation. Sir, just wait a minute.
Yeah.
Continuous integration of automation into business operation, it equates to more machine doing more thing. That hyper automation is that the machine doing more and more things. And next, what happened with that? Artificial intelligence and machine learning are two very hot buzzwords right now and often seem to be used interchangeably. Artificial intelligence and machine learning we are heard many times, and this was the buzzword, and it's now been a trend. Data science. Data science is an interdisciplinary field that uses scientific method, processes, algorithm, and system to extract knowledge and insight from many structured and unstructured data. Cybersecurity is the practice of defending computer, server, mobile device, electronic system, and network and data from malicious. Cybersecurity, we are heard many times that we secure our data. And the last one is user experience. UX design is the process of design team used to create products and provide meaningful and relevant experience to user. So by the Sukant Ratnakar is the author, say that our future success is directly proportionate to our ability to understand, adopt, and integrate new technology into our work. Technology is not a bad thing. It is a useful because we are making our work easy and easy.